Subscribe for more.
I never thought a joke could expose how fragile my marriage really was. I am Hannah, 38, married to Daniel for 11 years, living what I believed was a stable life. We met in Leeds, built routines, shared bills, dinners, and quiet weekends that felt dependable. Daniel was practical, reserved, proud of being reliable, and I admired that steadiness. I handled the social side, the laughter, the small talk, the lightness he lacked. For years, it worked because neither of us pushed too hard. The distance crept in quietly after my promotion, longer hours, new colleagues, new energy. Daniel congratulated me, but something tightened in him that I pretended not to notice. We stopped asking about each other's days and started reporting them instead. Affection became scheduled, conversations careful, silences longer. I felt unseen, but told myself marriage is naturally dull with time. The joke happened at a small work dinner. Nothing dramatic, nothing planned. A colleague named Marcus teased me about my accent, and I laughed. I replied, smiling, that if Daniel ever left me, I might steal Marcus instead. People chuckled, glasses clinked, and the moment passed like harmless air. I did not think about it again until Daniel picked me up later. He was quiet on the drive, knuckles pale on the steering wheel. At home, he asked calmly who Marcus was. I laughed it off, said he was nobody, said it was just a joke. Daniel stared at me as if I had spoken a language he no longer understood. He did not raise his voice or accuse me of anything. That restraint frightened me more than anger ever could. He said jokes reveal doors you are already testing. Then he told me he would be staying with his brother for a while. No argument followed. No bargaining. No dramatic exit. He packed a small bag and left without slamming the door. The quiet afterward pressed against my chest like weight. I replayed the joke obsessively. Searching for the moment, it became unforgivable. I told myself it was innocent, that secure marriages survive humor. Yet Daniel's reaction suggested something deeper had already fractured. Over the next days, his messages stayed polite, distant, procedural. He asked for space and clarity, not reassurance. Friends told me he was overreacting, that men are possessive. Their comfort felt hollow because I knew the joke landed on old wounds. I had been distant, distracted, proud of independence without noticing his insecurity. The joke simply named a possibility he already feared. When Daniel finally agreed to meet, he looked exhausted but resolved. He said trust is not broken by one sentence, but by patterns. My joke confirmed to him that I no longer guarded us. He explained he felt like an accessory in my life, not a partner. Hearing that hurt more than his leaving. I realized my careless humor was easier than facing our decay. Daniel did not ask for apologies or promises. He said he needed to see whether absence brought relief. That sentence shattered me because it sounded like freedom. I went home alone, understanding too late that neglect invites jokes. Weeks passed, and Daniel did not return. We spoke about logistics, bills, schedules, nothing emotional. I learned restraint can be a final boundary. The joke was not betrayal, but it revealed the vacancy where love should live. If Daniel never comes back, I will know why. Trust is maintained in what we protect, not what we excuse. That lesson arrived quietly, like his departure, and changed everything. I tell this story not to blame him, but to own my blindness. Jokes feel small until they collide with accumulated silence. I once believed stability meant safety, but it also requires attention. Daniel protected himself the only way left to him. His reaction was not cruelty, it was self-respect. I am left to rebuild without pretending humor can cover neglect. Some betrayals are loud. Others whisper until the damage is done. Mine whispered through a joke I should never have made. If you guard your marriage, guard it when it feels boring. That is where fractures begin and trust quietly erodes. I learned that too late, watching taillights disappear down our street. The house felt larger, colder, and painfully honest. I am not shattered because he left, but because he was right. Love survives care, not convenience. I confused laughter with loyalty and paid the price. Now silence teaches me what jokes never could. People ask if I regret that night, and the answer is complicated. I regret not noticing the months that led there. I regret choosing ease over effort long before the dinner. The joke was simply the receipt, not the purchase. Daniel taught me that boundaries spoken softly still matter. His calm exit echoed louder than any fight we avoided. I live with that echo now, measuring my choices carefully. If he returns, it will be because trust is rebuilt, not pleaded. If he does not, the lesson remains mine to carry. Marriage is less about grand promises and more about daily protection. I failed that quietly, thinking silence was harmless. Daniel showed me otherwise by walking away with dignity. That dignity shattered me more than anger ever could. I write this hoping someone hears the warning earlier. Guard what matters before jokes, test fragile foundations. I learned love is not proven by freedom alone, but by care. That truth arrived too late for us, but not too late for me. The joke ended nothing, it revealed everything. I stand in the aftermath, accountable, quieter, and finally honest. Some reactions feel cruel only because they expose our neglect. Daniel's reaction shattered me, but it also woke me. I will carry that wakefulness forward, whatever comes next. Silence taught me more than laughter ever did. I wish I had listened sooner. Now I listen, even when it hurts. That is the cost of learning love too late. I accept it fully, and I move forward, alone wiser.